Hey, what's up? It's Matt, and I'm coming to you live from the quarantine in Vancouver. Um, this is kind of the first video I'm going to make about Serato Studio, and I figured today would be a great day. It's raining, and yeah, why not? We're all locked down. We're making music, and this is a great way to occupy your time. So today I'm going to do a demo on Serato Studio on how to make a DJ edit, kind of in like a K-Tronada, for lack of a better word, DJ edit style with some sidechain. So I'm going to be talking about sidechain. I'm going to be talking about how to edit in Serato and just add some drums to like a remix of a song, to remix a song. So yeah, let's get right into it. Just to let you know, I'm just using Serato Studio, the sounds that are included in it, and like a song from my library, which you can probably either download or find if you don't have it already, and all the stock plugins and stuff. So you won't need to use anything extra. I'm just using my computer keyboard, which you can see here. Where is it? Here we go. So yeah, there's nothing too extra. It's really simple that anyone can kind of do it as long as you got a computer and a key and the program, and you can try it. I'm going to be talking about I'm using Serato the beta for 1.4.4, which is coming out probably by the time this is up. It'll be out, and basically all the functionality will be in that. It's really fun. So yeah, let's make a DJ edit. All right. So first things first. You'll see when you open up the program, you'll usually get it'll ask you whether you want to make a DJ edit or make a beat. This is actually the scene that you'll see when you want to make a beat. This has like the drum pads, and these are the sounds that are in it by default. And then you've got obviously your step sequencer, but if you're making a DJ edit, you'll probably go and see this scene right away. And this is where you drop your song. So this is the audio tracks. If you need to create one, if you don't see that scene, you can just add an audio track and you'll get that. You can delete that, of course. And these are your scenes there if you need to get back to that. This is your master channel. Don't worry about that just yet. And this will get you to the song view and back to your library. So I'm just going to go take something from my Serato DJ library, and I'm going to add it to this audio track here. So here we go, back to my DJ library. And the song I'm looking for is Glow of Love. This song here. Now you probably know this song if you like Janet Jackson or old soul music. It's a classic. It's really good. And I'm just going to drag that in here. Now what's really great about this version is it just figures out you can see here in my library that the tempo here is 118 and the key is E minor. And this is the master project tempo right here, 117, which is 117.81, which is basically 118. And then this is the key E minor. So this is all now in the same key and tempo as the song. And this all came from Serato DJ information, which is where I initially played this song. Now, if you don't use Serato DJ for whatever reason, it will figure this out just like it does in Serato DJ. When you drag it into this area here, it will just analyze it and put that key and tempo on it, and then make this whole thing work. You can see here as well, this is where it's looking at. And if you don't like that, you can just turn sync off and turn the key sync off as well. But I do want that. The other cool thing about it being in Serato DJ is it reads the cue points from Serato DJ. So it set, with this cue point right here. And if I go to my keyboard, I can just press 1, or and then if I want to set another cue point, I can drag this along here, and then just press 2, and it will set a cue point there. But what I want to do actually is I want to pull in the Serato cue points that I have in Serato DJ. So I just go to this little menu here, the drop-down menu, and click Serato DJ, and then Serato DJ already has these cue points set for me. And so that's pretty cool. It really helps if I already got kind of cue points set up, and just drags them in here for me. So that's kind of cool. What I'm going to do here though is I'm actually going to set some new cue points as well. So I'm just going to drag it down here, and I'm going to into the song view, and you can see it's already there actually. I don't actually want the whole song in there, so I'm just going to delete it all. Oops, I actually did that by accident. I just need to delete this thing, not the whole track. So I can drag this whole piece down like it was there, and put it on the grid wherever, and I can edit it here. So what's cool is that I can obviously shorten it by going to the end of the song and then hovering over it, and you get that cutting tool, and then I can cut it down if I want, and then I can zoom back in, and I can hear how that sounds. You can see that right there the guitar came in, so I can actually right click. Let me just pull up my keyboard again. You can just right click, which is the 2-finger click on the keyboard, and then you'll see it gives me the option to split to new clip. That's what I want to do. So that's, and if it got it wrong, I can actually zoom in, plus or minus keys, and I can move this around. So you can actually see, if I click grid here, you can actually see that it's just set it a little bit off the grid. So I need to move that back there. Now it's right. That actually makes me wonder how this one is. No, it's okay. So now I've got these two parts, and maybe I want to extend this one out a bit longer and see what happens here. Alright, so let's minimize that a bit there. So I want to cut that there as well, so right click, split to new clip, and now I got that bit. As well, and then maybe I'll just let the song run from here for a bit. Flowers blooming. So that's where the vocals come in. I'm going to split there as well, just to be on the safe side. Cool. So now I got these like little sections I can kind of use to chop up if I need to. And what I want to do is I want to just chop up and put drums onto this part at first. So now what I want to do is I want to go to these scenes here. This is where I want to add my drums. This is my like little sequence here. This is where I add instruments and drums and stuff in these scenes. So click on scenes, and it'll take me back here. This is where I got the stock drum kit, which again allows you just to press your keys on the keyboard. Yeah, I'm just gonna like add in on the sequence here. This is a sequencer. I can add in a drum beat by just clicking on these squares, like so. So this is like a 4 on the floor drum beat. Pretty standard. And already that should be in time with my sample. Yep, it is. Now that's not very long. I actually want to make this longer. So this is the scene size. Scene 1, that's 1 bar. So 1, 2, 3, 4 counts. If I do 2, that's 2 bars. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 2, 2, 3, 4, or 8 bars. 8 counts, sorry. And then I'm just going to like let that play and see how that sounds. Cool. That's cool. And now I might just add like a clap on this sequence here. Now I'm going to add another kick at the end of this. Cool. So got my clap, got my kick, and I've got like a little drum pattern. Now let's hear how this is in time. Yep, we're good. And so if I need to make this longer, I mean, I can make it longer up in here as well, but I can also just duplicate it. And that's just done by Command and D on the keyboard, Command D, and then I can just keep going along this timeline until I'm there. I can also drag it down as well, like as I want, move it where I want on this timeline. But yeah, Command D is the shortcut, way easier. So now I got this little re-drum here. Yeah, that sounds okay. Now, these drums are the stock drums, like I said, and they sound okay. But I actually want to like add my own drums. And when I say add my own drums, I want to add my own drums from the Serato DJ library that I like. And I like the drums in here. I think these drums here from the drum kits, all the old Serato packs here. These are the core drum kits, drum sounds. So you can just click on any of these drums and I'll make a sound. And the cool thing is, as long as you have this little speaker turned on your Serato, and you can adjust the volume there, you can click on any of these things. And then, so these are like individual sounds, and they are made by this little waveform here. And then these are full drum kits. So I can go and load a whole drum kit by just like a Club 909. That's a pretty classic house drum kit. I can just drag this whole thing, and it'll swap out all the sounds in there for this Club 909 kit. So here, this is how it sounds. And that's a pretty classic, house drum kit. Or I can just take a kick, and I can just drag the kick into one of these little cells here, and now it's just that whole drum kit, but just the kick has changed. That's pretty good. I want to try this boom bap kit. Let's hear how that sounds. It's pretty cool. I'm actually going to go for a Club 909 kit here. Actually, let's see what else we got. Let's see if we got another kick. I do want to try to find a more punchy kick, so let's just hear what we got. Maybe I like this one. This is the same kick, though. Now let's try a different one. Yeah. Let's try this one. Cool. Now this clap, I actually want to, you can actually make this a little shorter if you want. You can adjust the release here, or adjust the key. So I'm going to just pitch it up and see how that sounds. And that obviously won't affect the kick. You can see that this is all red, and that's relative to this color, and the same here. All these will just affect these parameters, and then this goes this light blue color, and that means all these parameters will just affect that. So that's pretty cool. Let's hear how that sounds. Cool. Now I wanted to add a little reverb. So up here is this effects bank here, and once you pull that open, you get effects, 3 effects per pad, and then 3 effects for the whole drum kit. So that's how Serato Studio works. Each of these things will have individual parameters, and then everything on this side will be like a bus, I guess, so like it'll cover the whole kit. So I'm just gonna put on this one. I'm just gonna put a little reverb, and I'm just gonna use the stock reverb in here. Let's try drums reverb and crank that up a little bit. Take that down. There we go. Now if I go to the song view, we should hear how that sounds. All right, that's sounding pretty cool. Now if I go to the Glow of Love, the sample here, this is where we use this technique called sidechain compression. And sidechain compression is like really popular, used by a lot of people. Kaytranada, Daft Punk, every EDM producer all time. It's really a very popular effect, and a very effective one at that. So it's very easy to use in Serato Studio. In other programs, it can be a little bit complicated because you have to route things and send things, and if you don't know about that, it can be quite overwhelming at first. So the great thing about Serato Studio is it's really straightforward. So just choose from the drop-down menu of the effects, and make sure that you're choosing from the right side, not the left side, because these will be for each of these cues individually. This is going to be for the whole track. On this right side, these three effects here, I'm going to choose the sidechain option. I'm going to use the hard sidechain just as a demo. And once I've selected that, I have this dry and wet knob, which I just turn up. I'm going to turn it to the full level just so you can hear what it sounds like. And I'm going to solo this sample. And as I play it, you'll hear, and you'll also see down here that every time a kick drum hits, this will get quiet, and then there'll be sound in between. So let's hear how that sounds. Off. Now if I turn that solo off, you'll hear it with the track, and you'll hear it with the drums, and you'll notice the drums will be much louder. Ready? Now that's obviously quite it's quite loud, so well, quite a strong effect. So I'm going to dial that right back to like just halfway, and you'll still get the pump that you kind of want from the sidechain effect, but with a little bit more of the actual song coming through. So let's hear how that sounds. There we go.
Flowers bloom in morning dew, and the beauty seems to say it's a pleasure when you treasure.
So yeah, there we have it. I got like a little edit going on here with some drums underneath it, and I'm just gonna make an edit of this so that we have this verse, the chorus, and then there's a part of the song here
You're a shining star,
where it changes.
no matter who you are. So I wanna let you know you move me, yeah.
It's quite a big change. So let's hear if it's here as well.
And we try to find that special magic from above as we share our affair, talking in the glow of love. In the glow of love.
So what I'd want to do is actually want to cut just before this change happens. So let's let's extend this out. See how far we get with it. So I actually want to stop it right there, and then want to bring this first part back. But maybe I'll bring it back with the guitar, and yeah, that part. So I'll bring that bit right back here. So this is the kind of the where the keys and the guitar are all playing at the same time, and I'm just gonna like edit this bit down. So at the end of that chorus thing. Oops, needed to be a bit more here. Cool, so that's back to the beginning of the verse. So maybe I'll just do like a breakdown here. Now you see how when I bring this cue point down, it brings the whole song in? Let's just delete that for a second. If I don't want that to happen, this is kind of a cool thing. You can, so like I said, you can move this around at the top and this will change the beginning of the sample, but this little bottom one down here, this actually allows you to highlight the area that you actually want to play. You don't need to play if you don't want to play the whole song, you can kind of like nominate an amount of time that you want just to play, and you can see actually that there's another cue point here. So I'm just going to drag this out till it gets to that cue point. And what's nice is it snaps to this grid. I don't know if you can see this grid, but if I press grid, you can see this is the grid, and this area just snaps to that area. So now, if I go back to the beginning of the song, you'll see that it only plays for a small part of this part here, and that's because there we go. I edited it. Now it will only allow me to drag this area, this one section down that I need, and I won't drag the whole song now. So that's a really nice thing. So now when I duplicate this, there we go. So now I probably don't want that whole section. Same thing again, I can just edit it here and then duplicate that section. And now I've got, that should sound pretty cool. Cool. So now I've kind of got like a shortcut. I can now edit the song a little bit more, maybe make a different part, cut to a different part of the song. Let's see how this part sounds. So I want to set a cue point here. I'm just going to press 6. So maybe I'll just drag that part down here instead of having that edit. So The strings are kind of cool.
Flowers bloom in morning dew, and the beauty seems to say it's a pleasure when you treasure all that's new and true and gay. Easy living when we're given what we know we're dreaming of. We are one having fun walking in the glow of love. Yeah.
Cool. So I've got basically like now a pretty good DJ at it where I don't have to worry about that crazy bridge coming in. Maybe you like the bridge, but just for what I want to do for this, I don't need the bridge. So I'm gonna add another audio track here, and this is another way to use it. You can either add effects or whatever if you want. So let's just try that. I'm gonna go into my I'm gonna go into my personal sound effects. So these you may not have these, but let's just see what we got here. Yeah, let's grab that one. I'm sure you got your own anyways. And I'm going to turn off the, oh, there's no key sync on it anyways, that's good. So I'm just going to drag this here. Now I think this is a bit loud, so I'm going to turn it down.
Flowers bloom in morning dew, and the beauty seems to say.
Cool, and now I'm going to put some echo on that. So put a little echo, crank that up. So it should sound like this. Gives a nice little tail. And I'm going to add another audio track, and I'm just going to grab like I'm going to go to drums here. I'm just going to find a shaker. Let's see, maybe I've got another shaker in here somewhere. Shaker that I need. Oh, okay. Where is maybe it's probably in my audio samples. That's what I'm looking for. A shaker here. Not on my samples. Shaker. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. I'm pretty sure these are the core pack. These ones are the core pack. So I'll drag that in there. Now I can put these wherever I want in the song. So maybe I'll put them in this part here. Now I don't need the whole thing, so I'm just going to zoom in here. Let's take it from here, see what this sounds like. Okay, so that starts there. Maybe I just want this bit. Yeah, I'll just grab this section of it. Cool, and then I can just... I can either add it in here, in this timeline here, where I want, and just copy and paste it or duplicate it. Or I can also add it, which I might actually do, I might add it to the scenes. So I'll go back to here and I'll create a copy of this drum pattern. So this is my drum pattern. Now I'm just going to hover over this section here, and this will copy the whole thing. And I'm going to add a sample, and I'm going to drag this shaker in here, and I'm going to just take this part of the sample, and I'm going to change the playback. So now it's basically like, as long as I hold the key down and I press it, it'll play, like trigger it. But if I click this button up here, it'll trigger it and just like let it play the whole way through every time. So, and that's what I want. What I don't want though is I don't want it to play that little clicky part at the end. So I'm just going to do that same thing again and take this bottom triangle and extend it out. And then I can just cool. Now I can go back to my song view, and instead of using this area here for that, I'm actually going to delete that. I can just change this scene. So this is my intro scene. This is my shaker scene. I can name it that, shaker. Just drag that in here like that. And now in my song, it will play. Maybe I don't want it going the whole time. There we go. And I'm just going to duplicate that over this part. It's a bit loud for my liking. I'm going to turn this down. The shaker. There we go.
Flowers blooming, morning dew.
There we go. So it's my edit.
Flowers blooming, morning dew, and the beauty seems to say it's a pleasure when you treasure all that's new and true and gay. Easy living, and we're giving what we know we're dreaming of. We are one, having fun walking in the.
Now say I want to slow this whole thing down just a little bit or pitch it down. I can do that too, which is really nice. All I have to do is go up to this area here. I can either slow it down or speed it up. So if I want to speed it up to 120 and maybe I'll pitch it up just one, just in case, copyright. And we'll see how that sounds. Everything's still in time.
Flowers blooming, morning dew, and the beauty seems to say it's a pleasure when you treasure all that's new and true and gay. Easy living, and we're giving what we know we're dreaming of. We are one, having fun walking in the glow of love.
All right, that's pretty good. So I'm actually pretty happy with how this has all come together and sounds now. I don't really feel like I need to do too much to it. So I'm just gonna go to the master channel here or down here. I'm gonna click on that, and you can see here as I play, if I make any changes, this will like affect it. So let's see what it sounds like down here. So this is typically where you add like your limiting or mastering. This is your master channel, so you can master and EQ your whole track here. And I guess typically speaking, you'd use like a limiter to like boost the sound and kind of make everything glue together a bit more. So the stock plugins are here already for you. So brightener EQ, master compressor, and limiter. we can just put all these things on and see what it sounds like. I'm going to crank up the limiter just a little bit, and let's hear how it all affects the sound. You can see in the master waveform it's changing.
Flowers bloom in morning dew, and the beauty seems to say, it's a pleasure when you treasure all that's new and true and gay.
So that's pretty like... That's looking pretty good. I could probably like just export this now and load it into Serato DJ and play it out at my gig. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go to export here, and I can choose to export as a WAV or an MP3, or I can export the stems, which is really, really helpful. So say you've made a beat in here, you're really happy with it, but there's just certain things you want to do in like another program. Like maybe you want to add instruments, or like your own like plug-in and instruments, like your own guitars or something. You can't record in Serato DJ, so you'd need another DAW for that, or you wanted to sing on it, or get someone to rap on it or whatever. This is where this kind of stems export comes in handy. You can export your stems as MP3 or whatever, but I'm just going to export the master because I'm happy with the way it sounds, and I just want to DJ it tonight, so, or on my live stream. So I'm actually just going to export it as MP3, and off I go. It tells me where I want to put it. I'm going to put it on my desktop. I'm going to call this Glow of Love Cut Corners Edit. Put some brackets on that thing. There we go. And save. And off it goes, exporting the audio. And you're kind of like ready to go after this point. So I don't think there's really too much more to say here. If you have any questions, though, I'd love to know in the comments or on IG or whatever. I'm always pretty good at getting back to people. And this version is going to be out real soon. And to be honest, I think the free version is going to have just a couple limitations. But you could totally do this kind of edit in the free version as well. So I highly recommend giving it a try. I think there's one subscribe for $1 a month right now, but anyways, it's a 14-day trial you can try as well, and just to give it a try, see if you like it. I definitely find it has like a lot of really fast and easy features, like the key syncing and BPM sync and all that kind of thing that I don't really find in other DAWs. So yeah, hopefully this has been really enjoyable and pleasant, and I hope to do more of these. So yeah, please subscribe to the channel. Of course, we need that so we can we know what we're doing is right. So yeah, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll catch you guys again very soon. All right, peace.